Welcome to Town Talk. We're so pleased to have on set today Darlene Regan, who is the Community Outreach Coordinator for the Council on Aging for the town of Kingston. Welcome.
Thank you, Julie.
So
Thank
good
you
to
for
have you
having
here.
Pleasure to be here.
Okay, lots to talk about.
Absolutely.
Let's talk just a tiny bit about you. How did you get it here, and why are you in this position?
Okay, I've actually been in the healthcare industry as an advocate for the last 20 years, and then ventured into gerontology in the last 10 years. So pretty much I ventured to volunteer for a SHINE program, and then evolved into different positions at the Aging Service Access Points, and now here I am at the Council of Aging.
Now, this is a new position, correct?
This is a new position this year,
okay.
which is an awesome, it's an awesome opportunity for the Kingston residents. We offer a lot of different new things too, in terms of the healthcare industry and the way it is. It's very complex today.
Oh, yes.
And so navigating through all those different resources, it's difficult for the consumer.
So let's just back up for a second. Talk about the Council on Aging, because they have changed dramatically over the past even 10 years. So, as a brief overview, what is the objective of the Council on Aging?
So the objective of the Council of Aging is to provide wellness programs as well as advocacy, as well as keeping up with the demands of the population in which they live. Not every town is the same, which is a really, I want to make that point very clear. We all fall under the Executive Office of Elder Affairs and then the Massachusetts Council on Aging. And not all towns operate the same way, of course, because some towns are smaller. And we are funded differently, too.
Okay.
Though we have the networks with the Aging Service Access Points, that is the Old Colony Elder Services to serve this area. And they provide the home care support, and that networking keeps people viable within the community to get them to stay and age in place as long as possible.
So let's talk a little bit about who is your population, because I mean anyone over 60, I guess, is considered a COA type person?
Well, there's no such thing.
Okay.
Okay.
So this is for anyone.
I say that we like to say that the depends on where you're, depends on the town, of course. Some towns are community centers, and then some towns are the Council on Aging. And over time, that dynamics will probably change.
Right.
But at the point right now, we have a diverse population. We do have those that are looking for wellness programs. And they're very active in the community. And we also have people that are over the age of 70 that are looking for something else. Socialization, engagement,
so you're serving
help.
Almost two populations.
Correct, we are. And that's where it's growing, actually. And a lot of the programs that we're offering now is not just geared towards the wellness, but it's also geared towards navigating the different programs that are available out there. Because we all love that Google community where we all Google everything. However, and some can and some can't. But when you go to search for these things, what's good and what isn't good?
And what's real and what isn't.
Correct,
too. So the function of an outreach coordinator is network resources and fact or fiction, letting people know, what is true and what isn't. So talk about how you help people network.
Okay, so basically the networks would be, for instance, if someone came to me and they were looking for some home care support. It could be a family caregiver, it could be just the consumer themselves or the individual, the resident themselves, and they want to know what's out there. And, so that connection with the networks being like Aging Service Access Point, also independent living centers. We tend to forget them. And our state actually is implementing the fact, or trying to encourage the fact, that we are a no wrong door approach. And
what does that mean?
That no wrong door meaning that when you come to me, I'm going to get you somewhere that's viable, that's credible. Under the state of Massachusetts.
So whatever it is that you're looking for, you're gonna put them in an accurate direction.
Absolutely. I mean, there's a lot of information out there.
Right, and a lot of it's not true.
Well, you have to be careful.
Right.
I just had a call this morning, and someone was thanking me because of the fact that they saw something. They were trying to get their prescriptions lowered. They didn't know where to go.
Right.
And so they saw something online, and I said, no. Please do me a favor, and I connected them with the Massachusetts Council, the Massachusetts College of Pharmacy, and they have an outreach program there that's fabulous, and they were able to connect them to something that's more, substantial.
So if you're getting the same types of questions from people, let's say it's taxes or how do I sign up for Medicare or Medicaid or whatever it is, do you then kind of say, okay, this is something that's really becoming prevalent, and then take a more proactive response to that, so that you either create a program or do an outreach just on that one subject?
And that's why this new position is new this year.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
because that's so important.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. That we're seeing that engagement for the community to try to get people to understand what's good and what's not. So be careful of what's out there.
Oh, absolutely.
And navigating through all the different programs it's cumbersome.
Right.
So
let's talk about a couple of them that seem to be really big. Is taxes.
Oh yeah.
Because a lot of seniors are,
yes,
they're misinformed.
Yes.
And a lot of them don't even have to file taxes.
Right. And when that does, we're there as a resource.
Right.
Okay. So
right. You're not a tax
correct.
attorney. No, absolutely.
Right. And I always refer them. People came in the other day. A woman came in with her life insurance information,
yeah.
and it's like, seek the information out through your tax attorney
right.
and so on, and
right.
Or tax person.
Yep.
And so they did.
Yep.
So, but we're there just to kind of separate what to look for, the
yep.
questions to ask.
Yep.
So create that that information for them to go out and do their own research. So there's a lot of self-advocacy
sure.
too that I try to teach people,
yeah.
educate them to
yep.
go out there, be determined to navigate
yeah.
and
I
come
know,
and ask me if you have any questions.
Right, because I know a lot of people are elderly people. I know, like my dad is almost 90, and he'll get things through his email, and he'll say, "Oh, this looks good," and I'm not good,
Right.
And I think the younger generation has learned to put a filter on a lot of things.
Right.
Whereas sometimes the elderly people they haven't been playing in that field long enough.
Right.
To know what's out there and what's legit and what isn't.
Right, and it happens at any age too.
Oh, sure.
So, any one of us it could happen to. So, but we want to make sure that we protect our seniors as well, or just any person that does come to our center and within the community.
Now, do you get involved in adult daycare with dementia, different levels of dementia that happen?
So that's where I was mentioning that it depends on the community,
mm-hmm.
The needs in that within that community, and the funding too. So each council on aging has their own resources and available grants,
mm-hmm.
and so the adult daycare centers are available. We don't have that, but we offer other things. But we do refer people over to Duxbury or
sure,
to Halifax.
Ones within your area, you coordinate with each other.
We do.
I assume people talk all the time.
Yes, and that's
COAs
a part of the
in each
networking.
Yes.
And just being able to communicate all that information to consumer. We have it at our fingertips. We
Yep.
created a resource book. We do have a wonderful person at our reception desk, and if you have any questions with regard to what to find, what mm-hmm. information to find mm-hmm. under the state, then we have that resource book that we've created. So like I said, this position is a new position
right.
in terms of full-time,
yep.
but it is taking a lot of time to put all this information
together. Right, and to
yeah.
consolidate it and coordinate it. What kind of programs do you offer for people who are actually going to go to the center?
In terms of wellness?
Yeah, what can I go and do?
We have Tai Chi, we have the Zumba class. Actually, mm-hmm. Debbie's really wonderful. Mm-hmm. She does a lot of, programs like that.
Yeah.
We do have social engagement,
mm-hmm.
reading,
yep.
Clubs and so on. But we also try to cater to the male population as well.
Yeah.
So we have the drone class.
Drone?
Yes,
oh.
the drone classes on Mondays. And so we just try to, we also have cards and so on that,
yep.
that they get involved with. But a lot of them use our center as a resource.
Yeah.
And what's good, it's just a fabulous place to catch everything.
Right. And when I'm looking at your list of some of the things that you do, emergency preparedness, identity theft,
yes,
health safety, mass health,
yes,
Social Security,
yes,
fuel assistance,
yes. So we direct people to
transportation.
That. So that's
yeah.
a network we build.
Yeah.
And that network there, with regard to the DTA, the transitional assistance, a consumer needs that support, we would actually connect them. So these are the networks that we've built over time, and it's growing.
Yeah, I bet. How many seniors actively participate in your Council on Aging in Kingston?
Well, at this point, probably, I think it's close to like 4,000 or 3,000. It's between 3,000 and 4,000.
That are at that age?
Well, no.
Actually come through your doors?
Yes. Well, that's participating. That's members, yeah.
That's terrific.
Yeah.
And how are you funded? Is it strictly through the town?
It is.
Okay.
Some of it is funded through the town, which they do get from the state.
Yep.
But the Massachusetts Council of Aging is the primary funder. And that's mostly where the grants come from.
Yes,
we do
I was
write
just
our
going to say,
grants.
get the grants
But
from
most
them.
of it's volunteer. We
That
do
was
have a
my
lot of
next question,
volunteer.
is
Yeah.
How many, and what type of volunteer positions are out there? What do people do?
Well, there's transportation. We do have Meals on Wheels people that volunteer.
How many of those do you do?
Oh golly,
Tons?
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's a great program, even just to get out to talk to people. In fact, I do, once a month try to get out there as much as I can to just to meet people.
Yeah.
I've talked to on the phone if they had a simple question and I never met them before.
Yeah.
So I make a point to get out there to just to make sure that I know who they are.
Yep. Now, do you put together like a newsletter or anything that goes out in snail mail? Because I know a lot of seniors still like getting mail.
They do.
Yeah.
Yes, and we still have that. We do have the bulletin every month that we put out.
Yep.
And
With a calendar and
correct.
Yep.
And it tells exactly what we offer and also the Old Colony Elder Services when the meals are off. And we also offer a hot meal on Thursdays. So that's another thing that we do. We have actually someone that does cook for 90 people.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. And
is that your capacity for if you were going to have a sit down?
Yeah, about that.
That's a lot.
Yeah, that is a lot.
Yeah.
And it's amazing so that she does all this, but she does a great job.
Now, do you have, is your COA used as a warming center in the winter or a cooling center in the summer?
Yes.
Can you just talk a little bit about that?
Well, we are available there for if that does happen.
Yep.
We do have a network or support with the fire department and also police. And so that's a really good community support. We work together to build that and to make sure that we're available for any senior that is in that situation. And we have a list, emergency list that we've created, and I think Paula had mentioned this too, that we've actually have that list of people that we know that are high needs.
Yes, which is really important. Yep.
Right, and we ask people to make certain that they update their information with us because a lot of people figure that we probably don't need to have an emergency number. Well, we do.
Of course you do, right.
Yeah.
It's for their sake.
It's for their sake,
and their kids or their people who are, I can't get in touch. Right.
Yeah, and it's just it's a backup for what if anything did happen. And but we ask people that if they do come forward, to identify themselves in the community, that we're there to help.
Right, right.
And we're there to be
you
supportive.
Keep information private.
Totally.
Yeah, absolutely. And
yeah,
that's a struggle, is to get people to understand that you're not asking for any reason other than to help protect them in the case that they need to be protected from the environment or whatever's going on.
Yeah, we definitely respect that privacy. I mean, in this day and age, of course.
Yes.
But we were there just for support, and being able to, present all these different programs that we do.
So you have a lot on your plate. You have a lot you're responsible for. What are the biggest challenges moving forward for you?
I think keeping up with the demands.
Yeah.
I do. I really feel that the healthcare system is going to really put a real burden on some of the consumers, our residents. But I also feel as though that there's ways that the state is really doing a great job to support that.
That's great.
And being able to get that out there to the community, I pay attention to what's happening at the state level. And that way if I can get it out to them as fast as possible, I will.
And as accurately.
Correct, and accurately.
Excellent.
Yeah, so.
Well, Darlene Regan, Community Outreach Coordinator for the Council on Aging in Kingston. People can go to your website.
Absolutely.
Yep. Is the town website?
It's the town website, yep.
Are you also on Facebook?
Yes, we are.
Okay.
Yes, we are. Yep.
Those savvy people out there. Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Julie.
We've enjoyed having Darlene on Town Talk.